delighted to be here to just give you hopefully 5 minutes and not much more on conservation in the National Gallery. I work in, some of you have probably been there, of course. It's in Merrion Square in Dublin, and I'm in a very small department, but we're part of a very big team in the gallery that look after the collection. The conservation department, which I'm a part of, there are 6 of us, but together with all the curatorial department, the attendants, the security, the cleaners, everybody sees it as our joint role to look after the collection. Now, that can be something as simple as putting a piece of sculpture or something delicate into a box to prevent it from getting damaged in any way, or it can be in something like in this slide here. These are our art handlers. Sorry, I didn't mention them already. But we work very closely with the art handlers because for all the exhibitions that are put on, they are, I suppose, part of the team to make sure that the work that's put up for display is first of all fit to be put up for display. So we would check everything, make sure that it's stable, that the humidity, the environment, and the conditions are suitable to display the art in. And sometimes, when we're lucky, that actually means doing some work on these lovely works of art. And these 2 slides here, I'm a paper conservator, which normally people will respond to and say, do you hug trees? But it's actually conservation of paper on art. And we have a very big collection in the gallery of art on paper. There's over 12,000 different items. This is a Harry Kernoff pastel, which before and after, which I think you can see, there's a big stain removed. This is one that I particularly like to show because when I say to somebody that we wash watercolours and drawings, I have to be very careful that because the first thing you would think about would be it's just put into the water and hung out to dry. But we do it in a very, very careful and controlled way. This lino cut was badly damaged because the artist printed it on a piece of tissue paper, which was so fragile that it split the whole way around the edges. This is my colleague's painting conservation studio, and this is the one that's far more glamorous for visitors and people to visit because they have some very nice paintings usually up there. There's a shield on the table that's particularly interesting because it comes from the same workshop as the first shield that was done by Caravaggio, the head of Medusa. That's my boss there, Simone Mancini. And on the other slide, there's Myrna, Ayla, and Peggy. Now, because there are only about 6 of us, we come from, I suppose, a huge background. There's 1 Italian, 1 German, 1 Polish girl. There's 2 Irish, English. So we're pretty much a pretty cosmopolitan department. We're lucky with that way. We have interns coming every few months. We had experts come over from Italy to work on this particular table. It's a scaiola table, which is kind of a marble inlay that belongs to the Russborough house. So it's part of the Bite family collection. And this was the conservator who travelled over from Italy to Dublin with a colleague of hers to work on this specifically. And they worked on it last January, and they were pretty much snowed in for the whole time, so they didn't get to see much of Dublin. But before we do any work that's carried out, we would analyse and make a kind of a big file on each painting. This slide here shows you pigment cross sections, where the top one shows cinnabar, the bottom was green verditer, and this slide here shows a painting under UV light, and those kind of whiter areas are where the varnish is still on and the varnish is fluorescing. So we use things like UV. That's an X-ray, and it shows where it's of a Titian, and it shows where the Titian decided to move the staff that the Christ figure is holding, and also pigment analysis. And this is a very rich pigment called lapis lazuli. And when we find it, it usually indicates, I suppose, that the painting, it was so rare and valuable at that time that only I suppose the most important parts of paintings were used they used this for it. And this is just a general cross-section to tell you how complicated, I guess, a layer of flake. This is microscopic. You'd be less than I suppose, a pin head. But this is my last slide, and I just thought it would be nice to show a before and an after, because sometimes in the course of our work you can discover something that you didn't realize was there before. And on I could see this slide, it shows the crucifix and different items on the table which had been painted out in later years, which were then rediscovered by our painting department, or our painting conservators, which that information is then passed on to the curators, which then goes to everybody else who comes in to visit the gallery. So I hope next time when you come, if you do see, or if you want to visit us, you're always very, very welcome, and please do. That's it. Thanks for listening.